Hello friends, today we are going to make some book covers and maybe some pages. We'll see what we have time for. But this is Sherry and my channel is Turquoise Dreaming and I'm so glad you're here. So let me show you. I got inspired by a video I clicked on this past week by Lollipalooza, and she had made some book covers out of a board book. And when she did that, that made me think of this was a first little golden book like this, you know, the smaller ones, not the regular size ones that I had put aside. And I put it aside because I didn't know if I wanted to make a journal out of it or what I wanted to do with it, because it was a little worn up here, a little more worn than I wanted to deal with. See right here, it's got some wear and it had this number on it, which of course I could cover up. But I thought, I don't know. I wasn't just loving it. You know what I mean? I wasn't liking it really. And so I put it aside. I thought, what am I going to do with that? Maybe I'll just use the pages. And then I saw that video. I was like, a light bulb. It was a light bulb little squirrel moment that I had to go and make one right away do something with this little book. So I went and got it and I cut it up. So like you just saw, this piece was up here on the top of this cover, and this piece right here was on the bottom. So I just cut the back to, be the same size at the front, so I could have this cute little picture on the front, and added the two little yo-yos, bound it with I have it right here, Zutter Bind It All, and I went through my scrap box and picked out all the pages that were at least this tall, and cut them all down to size, and I used up every single one. I took them all out that were this size or bigger. Paper. If it was cardstock, I didn't use it, and if it was smaller, I didn't use it. So of course I still have a lot of scraps in there, but all the ones that were this size or bigger I have used. So pretty excited about that. And so you can see it's a good chunk of papers in there, very eclectic. And I thought it was cool that I didn't even plan to have the little name place here inside the cover, but it worked out that it was right there. The first little golden book belongs to, and there's the line, and the back is plain. So like, you can do anything what you want with something like this. You could decorate it. Like, I'm going to put this in my shop, so when you see this video it will be in my shop, but you can decorate it. You can add whatever. You can just use it for writing, or you can use it for a little glue book or whatever you want. You know what I mean? Because it's just all papers. I think I have one fold out in here, but see, I put this little scrapbook paper on the front and the back to have a pretty front and back, and then in between is all the other pages. So I'll just give you an example. I'm not going to flip through every single page because there's quite a lot of pages in here. I didn't count them. I don't count them when I do books or notebooks or journals like this. I just put as many pages as I can in there. It's not alligator mouth or anything. I just wanted it to be as many pages as I felt like this coil could handle without, if you put too many, you won't be able to turn it nicely, right? So you can see it lays flat. If you actually do want to do some gluing on here or write on here, but the pages I do have in here that I cut down were pages like, well, you saw the scrapbook paper. I had a few hymn book pages that I put in here because, I have my hymn book listing in my shop, and then once in a while I run across one that there is something a little too tattered about it or something. So I put those in my scrap box, and I was able to cut those down and use the good pieces of those. So a few hymn book pages. This it's just a nice paper that I cut down. Oh, it was from a little book. That's right. It was from a little book that had all these nice kind of vanilla colored pages. So that's what there's quite a few of those. There's some coffee dye. Here's the one flip out, I think. Or maybe I have two flip outs, but coffee dye paper are in here. Let's see, what other types of paper did I end up? Scrap pieces from my gnome book. This is from a pattern envelope. It was the back piece. I had used the front, and this was the back that I didn't use, so I had put that in my scrap box. And let's see, this is from another little notebook. Here's the where it was originally bound, where these little squares are. Put some of those in here. Let's see what else. That's some of my grungy coffee dye paper. If it got a, you know, if it tears or gets a little hole in it or something, I'll throw it in my scrap box and cut it up and use it for my journals or whatever, crafting. That's from the Gnome book too. Let's see, I'm just looking for different papers that I haven't shown you yet. Gnome book. This is some of my dyed paper. I think that's some of the Rit dyed paper that I have. And this is from a atlas. Let's see. See, this is right side up on this side. This particular atlas is right side up on one side, and then when you turn it, it's upside down, just FYI. This is some of my blue dyed paper that I've dyed with some type of blue ink. This might have been my tie-dye ink. And then here's some more pretty scrapbook paper. Oh, I think I might glue this and make a little pocket here. It was just a scrap. And I didn't want to cut off that bottom part, so I just made a little pocket there. So it does have one little pocket here. And I did mean to go ahead and put some glue in here and glue that down and make it a pocket. So we'll do it right now. There's some, let's see, I had a scrap of wrapping paper in here. If it's not different, I'm not telling you what it is because you've already seen it, right? I'm just telling you the different papers for the moment that you haven't seen yet. I think that is maybe about all the different types of paper I put in here. We're almost at the back. And yeah, that pretty much is it. Yep. Okay, so you saw all of that one. So I think we're going to cut this one down today. And then I wanted to, when Lolly was doing the board books, I knew I had some of these little shaped, not some, I found one. I don't know if I have any more. But I found this one, and when I got it, I was like, I got it to make a journal out of the cover. But when Lolly cut hers down, I was like, let me look for this little shaped board book that I have somewhere. And I found it. And so this is what I did. See here, this was the cover. And it was like this. All these pieces I cut off. Oh, is that right? Oh, this was down here. It's a little puzzle now. I got a little puzzle put together, but see, it was like that. Okay, and I cut the top off, I cut the bottom off, and I cut this little side shaped piece because that's what was always throwing me off. Like, how am I going to have my pages like this, which I very well could do, and just have this part, you know, not have any, because I'm not going to cut pages to shape that. I'm not going to do that. I wouldn't put myself through that. But then when she did hers, I was like, oh. And I got this out, and here's the cover, and I just cut it with my paper cutter. I did on the other one too. I didn't use any special X-Acto knife or any kind of anything, no other tools, just my paper cutter. And so that's why I want to cut this one now. I want to show you how I did this because it was a little different. It cut a little different than this one. I think this is a little thinner, so it was easier to cut. So all I did was, let's go ahead and we're going to cut all the pages apart here. And I tried to be careful and cut a straight line here, where I'm separating it from the book, each page. And the thing was, what Lolly was doing was, here's a piece of spine. What Lolly was doing was using all the pages for a cover. And that was my original idea when I bought these two. I thought, I could just use on a board book, I could use all the pages for a cover, but I've never done it. And I know I have not necessarily more of these shaped ones, but I know I have another board book, but I didn't buy too many because I never did it. I never did anything with a board book. I just bought a couple and from the thrift store or whatever, and I thought, well, I'm not going to buy any more if I didn't do anything with the ones I already have. Who knows, maybe I'll never do anything with them. But now, when I saw that, and now that I know I could just cut it with my paper cutter. Okay, so we need to make a cover, a back cover for this journal. So you could use, where is my cover? Here it is. You could make a cover out of, a back cover out of anything if you wanted to just use cardstock or something, but I want to use one of these pages. So I'm going to look at them and find one like this. Maybe what might be a little bigger, because I might want to get all of these deer in there. So I'm going to put that one to the side. This one is a possibility. I could get most of that Santa and deer in there. And this one, let's see what's over here. That Santa's kind of taller, although, you know, if we cut off his bottom half, we could use him. So we've got those two we looked at. And then there's two more. Maybe I'll use the original cover for this one. We'll see. And then we have this one. This one might be actually perfect. Well, yeah, this one could work because we can get most of that little girl and we could get this Santa. Okay, so that one could work. I just want to look at this one real quick. If we use this reindeer, so I would want to get the reindeer, and then we would get part of or all of this reindeer. Okay, let's use the actual back cover for this one. So I'm going to do is use this for my format now that I have, or my template, now that I have, you know, since I already have it cut. I got these papers out because I'm going to show you. I put papers I pulled out. If I don't get to work on the pages today, I'll work on that and then come back and show you what I do. But here's how I'm going to measure, just like I do with my pages for my you know, journals and things. I kind of don't measure. I just usually make a template and measure that way. But yeah, I just went back and forth a few times there. Now, if it doesn't cut all the way through, so this is what happened with this one, the little golden book one. It didn't cut all the way through, so all I did, see how it's kind of like scored it. I mean, it did score it, right? It's almost through. Let me see. Oh, it is through. Okay. If it wasn't through, I was going to turn it over. That's what I did with the little golden book. I turned it over, went over it again, and then it went through. So here's that top piece. And then, again, we're going to measure. We're going to cut off the bottom here, the part that we don't want. So, I kind of want to keep those deer. Let's see. Let me think about this for 2 seconds. I don't know if I want to keep all the deer. I kind of don't want these words here. So if I put it right there, I will cut off part of the deer, which I think is okay because I'd rather have this whole thing on the back cover. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. Yeah, we're gonna rethink this one a little bit. Okay. Yeah, because I don't really like that cut in half there. So I'm gonna rethink that a little bit. So let's just do this again. I gotta make sure they're even so I don't have to, you know, I need enough room to cut over here too, to cut off all the little shaped part. So there we go. All right, that will work. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a scrappy little notebook that we're making here. Not anything fancy. Okay, that probably, see, that went all the way through. And then we're going to go ahead and remember where your spine is. Of course, this shape part is not your spine, so it's not hard to remember that, right? Just want to make sure I get it in the right spot. Okay, and then we're going to do like this. I think it'll be fine. And if you don't like how the inside turns out, you could always cover it, right? If I don't like this, I'll cover it, but we'll see. And then I'm going to cut off this little shape part. So about right there. So you can either cover it or not cover it. If you're worried about, you know, what this inside part looks like, you couldn't cover it with a piece of scrapbook paper, whatever. So this is the cover. Here's the inside. I looked at it, but I didn't really focus on that, but this turned out cute with a little lady here eating some pancakes or toast or something. This is going to be the inside of the back cover, and this is the outside. So I think it's super cute, little scrappy. It'll be another scrappy little Christmas notebook. And so we can do that with all of these in a second. Well, maybe we'll do some more. I want to do the little golden book now, so I can show you how I did that one. So on this one, I want to do this one because I think this would be super cute with just Mickey on here. So what I did with this one, and this is not anything, this one's not damaged or anything. I just thought this would be super cute with just Mickey on here. And I forget what Lolly's had on the front of her. She might have had a Mickey Mouse one too. Maybe that's why I'm thinking this one would be so cute. But I have a lot of these little books to use up, so I thought, well, why not make some little scrappy notebooks out of these? At least I'm doing something with them, right? This does have a little damage in here, but I'm not concerned. It's not coming apart or anything. So all I did with this one is get it where I want it. Basically, I'm going to be cutting off the words, and I'm going to get as much as this little purple star as I can right here. There's a little purple star. So let's go ahead. So all I did was do this again, and I'm kind of pressing down on my, you know, cutter here as hard as I can. We'll see if it goes all the way through this one more time. Okay, let's see how we did. It scored it, and then I kind of like, okay, it's scored, but all the way through. You see, I bend it a little bit. Now I don't want to tear it on the inside, but I'm going to turn it over. I can see a line there where I need to cut. I'm going to put it back into my paper cutter here and put it right on the line where I need to cut, and then go over it. Now you don't have to press. It's going to go right through this time because it's already pretty much cut. I just don't want to make a new line, you know what I mean? So I try to get it right in that. And you could use a X-Acto knife or a little some kind of knife at this point. But yesterday I just used my paper cutter, finished it off, and there you go. That's what I did. That's what I did yesterday. So this one is going to be the front cover, and then I'm going to cut the back off here. I just try to get an even cut here along the side of the covers. If it's not even when you get it off, you can always trim it up a little bit and even it up, either with your scissors or your paper cutter or whatever you like cutting with. If you have a little knife or a little whatever, blade of some kind. So I'm just going to cut a little bit of extra off there that I don't need. Okay, I think that's pretty even. Like I said, we're not going for perfection. Okay, let me put my little needle back in here. We glued that pocket, and I don't want my glue to dry out. Okay, a little bit of scraps here. And so then we're going to figure out, oh, we did the same thing. It turned out the same. First little golden book belongs to, see, I didn't even look inside. I don't want to know what's happening inside. You know what I mean? I didn't want to change my mind on this. So on the back, let's go for kind of centering this on this little golden book part right here. So like I can cut pretty much around that and have that whole piece on my back this time. So I'm going to cut off a little piece on the top here and just get it right on there. Cut that off. 2, what was that, 4, 5, 6. What, 2 more? 7, 8. Okay, let's see how we did. Well, this one's a little, I probably didn't press down as hard as I did, but I want to see, make sure I see where, yeah, there's a little line right there. I'm going to put that on my paper cutter. And I'm trying to make sure I get it right on that line, because I don't, like I said, I don't want to make a new line, you know. So, yep, and you can kind of feel it going through when you're doing this. And if you're not on the right line, you can feel like, oh, that's too thick, because it feels like you're already partway through when you start cutting if you're on the same line that you already cut. Okay, so we've got that. Let's see, where's my spine? This one I guess it doesn't matter which side, but I just want to make sure I'm doing it right. Okay, as far as, I don't know, I just feel like I need to look and make sure it's going the right way. Okay, so, and then we're going to cut in here. That's my other phone I have in here. And so about, I guess I'm going back and forth about 8 times. So there we go. Let's see how we did. See, it's almost through. It's like it doesn't go through the paper on the other side, but it's just, and I know there's lots of different ways, and there probably is a better way even to do it, but I love my paper cutter, so I'm just using my paper cutter. You know, I always have this out here if you watch my channel. Okay, am I on the line? Get on that line. Okay, we're on it. And cut through the rest of the way. I feel it going through. It feels like it's through. Let's see. There you go. Like butter once you get through that paper, right? Let's see. I think it looks like I have a little bit of a cardboard there or something. Can I cut that off without? I don't want to. I think I'm going to leave it because I don't want to. I've got a nice straight line there. I don't want to mess anything up. So how does this one look? So this one will look like this. You know, I can add a couple of something. I can add a little doily or a little yo-yo down here to cover up that barcode. Here's the back. We have the whole little golden book information on the back from the back cover. And the insides are like this, plain. So I can leave them plain like I did on that one, or I can always cover, if you're making one, you can always cover this up with some pretty paper or whatever you want. Even one of the pages from the book would be cool, right, for this. Yep, that would be cool. Maybe I'll do that on that one, but I'm going to keep this together. This will be the next one. So let's take a break. We're going to cut these in a second, but I want to show you. I just pulled out. So maybe, you know, like on this one, I just did the eclectic pages from my scrap box, but like I said, I used them all up. All the ones that were that length. So everything else I have in my scrap box was too small. So then I went through my papers and just pulled out papers that I want to use up. Again, not necessarily any theme, just eclectic. So this is, I just thought this would be cool in there because it's colorful, and this is a little golden book, or, you know, I'll probably put this in the Mickey one, the little balloons wrapping paper here. And then I pulled out some other papers I need to use up. So this is just scrapbook paper. And I like the one-sided for these because I really, you know, I mean, I'm tempted just to put all writing papers, like all ledger and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's kind of fun to put all kinds of papers in here. So I thought I like the one-sided paper because then you have the whole blank back where you can write or whatever you want, right? It's like one-sided writing paper. You can look at it like one-sided writing paper, not one-sided scrapbook paper, right? So there's this one with the fish and turtles and things. This one has, this is from a scrapbook paper pad that I've had for years. So like I said, papers I need to use up. So I've had this one for years and years, really. So I want to cut this one up and use it. There are some other scrapbook papers. This one I had in one of my scrapbook paper books. These two pieces that I think this was 12 by 12, was it? Maybe it was just 8.5 by 11. But anyway, I thought use those up. I got out some music paper. You know, I just, you know, have so much music paper. Why not use some of and put some in there? This is some newsprint. A 6x6 paper pad, or no, this is 5x7. But why not use up some 6x6 paper pads or whatever little papers you have, right? And then there's some other 8.5 by 11. There's a blue one, a pink one, some children's writing paper. You know, just fun, everything, you know, eclectic and fun, right? So ledgers, and just another kind of ledger. Some like, this is called erasable paper, but it's kind of like, it's typing paper, I believe, and it's erasable. But I guess they used to use that before, I don't know, before they had before we had computers. And then graph paper, and this is some computer stationery. So those are what I have pulled out right now. Of course, I have a lot more I could pull out, but I just like, that's enough. Let's cut these up, and then we'll get more out if we need to. So I just wanted to show you the kind of papers I'm going to put in these next two. And I might pull out some more, you know, I could pull out more of what I have here too if I need to. I just kind of play it by ear and see how much room and how much, you know, if this is enough when I'm cutting them up. So what do we want our next cover to be? Let's look at this one. This is a taller one that I think I want to keep. Let's see. Oh, this one didn't come apart yet. Let's cut this apart. So let's see about a taller one where we want to keep more of it. Maybe I mean, we can make one where we just want to keep the whole page, but let's see. Like this Santa with his gifts is really tall. So I would say, yeah, I still want to cut some off of this one, but less. Okay, so this one, those two can go together. And then this Santa is pretty tall, but I could cut off, I could just make it even on the bottom and cut off this top. And then we have about the same on the other side. If I cut off the top of the Santa, it'll go right over this reindeer's head. And then this could be the back. And let's see, so if we go over the reindeer's head, it would pretty much be cutting off about right, well, I can see right at that curve. So we'll be cutting off at the curve. So right above this little Jack-in-the-Box and little doll right there. And then it would cut off Santa though. I don't like that. So let's see. This one, let's see. So I want this to be the cover, and this, I think I want this Santa. So let me do this one first, because this one's a little bit of a puzzler. So I want this Santa. Let me see if I cut off the top part here where the Santa is. You know, this one could be the one where I keep the whole thing. Possibly. Let's try that. Let's just cut off the very top where the shape is. And see if my paper cutter will go all the way through. So I'm cutting off the shape straight. Cutting off the shape off the sides. So just barely in enough to cut off the shape part. So we have a straight side, and then the shape on the bottom. So because these books are like, these little shape books are, this I think originally from, I know I've seen them at the Dollar Tree, so it was probably, I don't know if I got it at the Dollar Tree or at a thrift store, but I've seen them in both places, of course. So, and brought one home apparently. Okay, I'm trying to see if this is straight. It almost looks like it's crooked. Let me see. I guess it's straight. Okay, so, you know, there we go. A little straight cover. Now it's not so hard to work with and have the, you know, you don't have the shape on the side anymore. So this is a little rough right here. This one's pretty straight though, but this is a little rough. I want to first of all just make a straight line there without really cutting off anything, but I need to cut off a little bit to make it, you know, get myself a straight line there. Because I don't think that, yeah, it's like part of, it's not just glue there, it's part of the cover. So let's finish up this one, and that's all I'm going to have time for today. But I just want to show you how this one comes out and get this one cut, and then I'll work on these and come back to you and show you what I have done. Okay, so let me cut off the bottom straight. Again, just cut the shape off real quick here. And then we'll measure to cut off the rest, right? I want to make sure it's the same size as this one. All right, so, yep, just basically cutting off the shape part. Now, if you like the shape part, you could certainly make a journal out of it, and maybe I'll do that one day, but you know, I think it would be easier not to have the shape on there for me anyway. It would be a little bit less of a challenge, right? A little easier, I think. I won't be worried about that shape. Okay, so yeah, see, this says Mary C, so I could put something right there and cover that up. Okay, let's get this side cut because my time is just about up. Just about up. I hope you're all having a great day and great weekend and getting some crafting done or doing something that makes you happy, right? Whatever that might be. Visiting with your you know, grandchildren, or having some fun with your children and your family. Okay, so here's this one. So I could make any of these the cover, but this was the original cover. This might be a cute cover right here. I think that is really cute. I might make that the cover and make this the back. See, this was Yeah, I was going to make this the back or the front, but I think I like this because it doesn't have any words on it. It looks more like a cover, right? I mean, covers have words on them, but I just really like that. It's such a cute picture. And here's what the inside would be like if I do that. Cute. And there you go. And I'll put a little doily right there. It kind of looks like the end too, where Santa's leaving. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. There he goes on his sleigh. So that's the third cover. And so I'll cut these down. And that's the only one we didn't get done. Awesome. All right, I hope you liked that little idea. And I think I'm kind of like super excited about it now. I'm going to be looking for more. I'm going to look through my stash and see if I have any more board books. I know I have at least one more somewhere. So I will be back to you and show you how these all come out. But this one will be in my shop when you see this video. Thanks for watching today. Everyone have a great day, and I'll see you next time.